Today, I'm building a set of weapons from this rusty old post hole digger. This is a project I've had in mind for a while, and now I am finally getting around to it. First thing we gotta do is take off a couple of nuts and bolts, and the shovels are free. Before we throw these into the forge, we gotta clean them up a bit. These guys have a plastic-based powder coating on them that could create some nasty fumes when we heat them up, and I don't really feel like dying today. There we go. Now we can really get started. I need to widen the openings so that they fit around my wrists. In order to do this, I've marked the horn of my anvil to about the right size. All I really need to do then is wrap it around the horn. Here's where we ended up. Now I need to make some handles, and for this all I really did was bend some rebar. This is what we ended up with. They're a little bit tall, so I'm gonna trim them down a little bit. Now that these are the right size, it's time to weld them to the gauntlets. Those who know how to weld, look away now. I got them to hold, that's all I was after. These shovel heads are actually just two pieces of metal riveted together, and after forging them for a little bit, they ended up getting a little wobbly, so I decided to weld them together. Now that we've got the handles on, we can hold them as intended, and these are pretty damn cool so far. I want to put a nice clean edge on this, but after years of hitting rocks, this metal's too pitted to actually get something clean. So I'm just going to try to clean it up a bit. Now it's time for the heat treat process. My go-to quench tank is a little small, so I dumped my oil into a mixing bowl, and that's gonna have to do. After heat treating, this is what we're left with. They're pretty nasty looking, but don't worry, we'll clean them up later. After sacrificing a bit of my manhood, I went and bought a purse. I saw these buckles on here and I was going to go with the buckle system for the straps. However, I couldn't break away from the feeling that I wanted to do a pull strap mechanism instead. I thought that'd be much more functionable, and we're not really going for looks here, we're going for functionality. Now I can attach the cam buckles, and as a skilled welder such as myself, this is definitely my first attempt. Next up, we gotta drill some holes so that we can secure our straps. Once we get the straps attached with a couple of Chicago screws, we can finally see how well this will work out. And it was about here that I realized I drilled the wrong side. I gotta say, these are turning out far better than I imagined. Let's get them cleaned up again. Now to get them painted up to hide a lot of these imperfections. Like I said, I'm not really going for style points on this one. I decided to go with a dark green just because green's my favorite color, and they ended up kind of turning out looking like gardening tools, which I thought was pretty ironic and kind of funny. No, I don't want my sacrificed manhood to go to complete waste, so I'm going to use the inside of the purse to line the inside of the gauntlets for a little added comfort. Plus, the brown doesn't look too bad with the green I picked out. I'm going to use tin snips for this just because I'm too lazy to go in my house to get the scissors. I'm going to get these marked up, but I'm going to cut them out and clean them up a bit behind the scenes. I've got them relatively cut to shape, and now I can glue them down. After some research, I decided that contact cement would be the best option. You can see this little flap here is loose too, so I'll glue that down as well. Now that they're all dry, I think it's safe to say that this build is done. I cannot believe how comfortable these turned out. All that's left for us to do now is to test them out a bit. I'm pretty content with how these turned out. They're a lot of fun to use. But that's going to do it for today's video. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comments what you want me to build in the future. Thanks for watching.